Cody Rhodes brings people together. Kevin Owens had a pretty good reason to be mad at Sami Zayn. I mean, Sami broke his coco. There was no way in hell Kevin Owens would forgive Sami Zayn at that point. But history repeats itself. Cody makes the world a better place to live. I like this episode of SmackDown because we barely got any filler. Lots of story development. Except for Rey Mysterio still not wanting to fight his son Dominic. It's okay, Rey. No one is ever going to blame you. We know what you did behind closed doors. And I mean, honestly, right now, given the situation, this tweet just seems reasonable. So we got some cool stuff like Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, Rhea brawling Charlotte, Cody changing the world, and so much more. But before we jump into SmackDown, a word from sponsor. This video is sponsored by Wrestling GM, where you can actually prove that you can book it better. Wrestling GM is the best wrestling simulation game in the world. The only game where you can be a business owner, TV show writer, and universe creator at the same time. Pick who fights, who becomes champion, manage each wrestler's career, write your own storylines and feuds, and even create your own wrestlers and companies. Find out why 250k plus players continually keep playing Wrestling GM. The game is very deep and the opportunities to play it are endless. It is the perfect mix of creativity and strategy. You can control and create all the outcomes within the game. I also played this game before on my channel. The playlist of Wrestling GM series is in the description below. Wrestling GM is available on all iOS and Android devices, and there is a link to download the game in the description. Welcome back to Greatness of SmackDown. I hope you like Pyro because this show kicked off with Cody Rhodes. Imagine this dude's gender reveal party. Cody says he respects Roman Reigns and calls him the greatest champion in both sports and sports entertainment, and he's looking forward to beating Reigns in Los Angeles. Then he says he needs to talk to Kevin Owens. Kevin says, "I know what you're going to say." Cody says this is not a conversation between two people, so he invites Sami Zayn. Rhodes said he has so much respect for Kevin Owens because when he left the WWE, he needed contacts and help. And you know, Kevin Owens helped him with that. Kevin Owens says, "I've heard everything Zayn has to say." Zayn says, "Okay, that might be the case, but you haven't said everything you need to. We hurt each other many times, so why is this different? Do whatever you want, punch me in the face, anything it takes to get it out of your system." Kevin Owens doesn't listen. Rhodes says, "It's not about what we want, it's about what the people want." Of course, people want Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on the same page. Kevin says, "I heard everything Zayn had to say, but why would I fight with someone who doesn't even wanna be my friend?" That was such a great line. I feel like Sami Zayn only said that because he felt like Kevin Owens doesn't wanna be friends anyway. Seems like that's not the case. It feels personal for Kevin Owens, and he doesn't wanna fight alongside Sami Zayn just because they need to. That was such a great twist. Kevin Owens has just heard that this friendship is over. Then Sami Zayn found Kevin Owens in the parking lot and said, "Just so you know, we don't need to team, we don't need to do anything, but what you said right here is not true. You're my best friend, you're family to me, I love you." That's all I wanted to say. And Kevin Owens left. Man, that was great, but at this point, you kinda knew Kevin Owens will come back. You can tell Sami Zayn was sincere right here in this situation. At this point, he didn't even care about the bloodline. It was more like, I don't want to lose my friends. That was a great segment. We'll get back to what happened later in a second. Then we saw Dominic, Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley versus Elena Vega and Santos Escobar. It's so weird seeing Zelina Vega as a babyface. I feel like she was never a face in the WWE. I could be completely wrong right here, but as far as I remember, she was always a heel because it always made sense. She's a manager, right? So this was a pretty fun match. Zelina attacking Dominic was pretty funny, but it ultimately cost them the match. Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley won. Again, Dominic Mysterio, the ungrateful called out his father. Rey Mysterio came out. Dominic is still bitching about his childhood. Rey Mysterio asks Rhea to leave. She's fine with it. Dominic again calls him a pathetic excuse for a father. "You took away my WrestleMania match." And Rey Mysterio makes it simple. "I missed all of that stuff, the birthdays, everything, just so I could give you a better life." He talked about some brand names like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or whatever, because that's what's important in life, people. Maybe he missed those birthdays, but Dominic got a nice purse.
"And son, I still love you. I'm going into the Hall of Fame, and I want you to stand with me."
If some ungrateful young guy came up to me and challenged me to a match, I would gladly kick their ass. The crowd pops and he's like,
"But you're my amigo. I can't do this.
Ah, what a disappointment. Like, what's the big deal at this point, right? What is the big deal? Just accept the match. I'm slowly switching sides, man. I'm on Dominic's side right now. Come on, Ray, just do a bunch of roll-ups until you win. You don't have to hit the guy. So the match is not happening yet. Something will happen. Hopefully at the Hall of Fame, maybe Dominic will cross the line, attack his sister. I don't know. WrestleMania qualifying match. So yes, we're getting women's fatal 4-way tag team championship match at WrestleMania. In this match, we got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Tegan Nox and Emma. I know it's one of these matches that you just have on WrestleMania to fit a lot of people on the show, but I honestly don't mind these matches as long as it's not just some shitty ass battle royal that does nothing for anyone. So Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan won, and they are going to be in the match. Then we hear from Charlotte Flair. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I believe she's talking about her gimmick right here. This is going to be her 7th WrestleMania. Whether as a champion or challenger, she's always been the star. Ripley wants to be a star, but she can't until she becomes a champion. She couldn't beat her 3 years ago, she couldn't beat her today. We see Rhea Ripley, and you know, they kinda made things a bit more personal. They didn't necessarily say anything new, but I really liked Rhea Ripley kinda explaining why she chose Charlotte instead of Bianca. Ripley said that everyone is scared of Rhea Ripley, but she doesn't feel that from Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is confident in front of Rhea Ripley, and she basically wants to show Charlotte that she shouldn't feel confident. She wants to become a star, and she can't be a star until she wins that women's championship. Then we saw Rhea Ripley with a cheap shot, and we got a pretty big brawl, making things a bit more personal. And I mean, that was a good one. They beaten the shit out of every WWE official. You know, in this case, I say justice for Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, because when they attack officials, they get fired, suspended, or fined. Same rules should apply. Don't disrespect my ultimate farmer. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. The story is not the best, but I guess you could say the origins of the match make it kinda interesting. I guess Elena got mad that Xavier Woods and Madcap Moss played against him in WWE 2K23. I guess so. I guess that's what happened. So, you know, Xavier Woods challenged him to a match. So we got the match, and at this point, I don't understand this. So basically, LA Knight is great, right? Everyone likes him. Dude is entertaining as hell. Now, he lost, and I mean, Xavier Woods is great too, but he doesn't need those W's as much as LA Knight needs them right now. It's kinda crazy. I mean, my man doesn't even have a match at WrestleMania so far. Then he tells Rey Mysterio he can beat Dominic. He can be the washed up dad. Rey punches him in the face. What is happening with LA Knight? Then it was time for Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre, #1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther was watching the match. He was on commentary for a bit, and you know, he didn't appreciate the stupid questions. Wade Barrett kept asking, "Who would you rather face?" I do not care who am I going to face. I'm just here to observe. If it happens to be Drew McIntyre or Sheamus, I'm just going to do my job and defend the championship at WrestleMania. I mean, he makes a great point. Why would you ask that? He doesn't care. But of course, it's pro wrestling. It's stupid as hell, man, sometimes. So it's very convenient. We got a double big boot and no one stood up. So Gunther was like, "Stand up, I need a challenger." Drew and Sheamus were about to team up on Gunther. We see the Imperium, so the match ends in no contest. We see Adam Pearce and his balls, and he basically says, "You said you want a challenger. It seems like you're acting a little bit different." So it's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. So this is great news. I'm just not the biggest fan of the way it happened. It's kind of dumb, but I mean, at the end of the day, we are getting that triple threat match. Man, Intercontinental Championship is getting so much attention with main event level talent. That's crazy. Awesome. Absolutely love it. It was time for Sami Zayn and Jey Uso to meet. Jey said, "I never trusted you. Everyone liked you, including Roman Reigns, but I never did. But one day, I let my guard down and you betrayed us and made me look stupid. You've been a fake Uso since day one." Jey tells Zayn he had no choice. Zayn cuts him off and says, "You can choose to leave Roman Reigns and his toxic behavior. You're not actually mad at me. You're just angry that you weren't the first to hit Roman Reigns with that steel chair." And by Jay's face, there was some truth in that. Then we saw a brawl. Of course, Jimmy Uso came out to help his brother, and it seemed like Sami Zayn is going to be left alone. Why not Cody? Cody was just watching it on television. They were about to use the steel steps, but we hear Kevin Owens' music. Kevin Owens is behind the Usos. He took out the Usos all by himself. We see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn looking at each other, and everyone is chanting "Hug It Out." It's weird because obviously obviously you can't script the audience, so was that scripted or not? I'm not sure. Was that even supposed to happen? But they hugged. Kevin Owens was actually the first one who hugged Sami Zayn, and it seems like they're back on the same page. Good job, Cody. So now next week we are probably going to get official announcement WWE Tag Team Championship match. Man, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn winning these championships at WrestleMania would be so big. Such a nice moment, man. So hopefully that is going to happen, and in my opinion it probably should be the main event of night 1. But anyway people, that was your SmackDown. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love and hugs. It's been a pleasure.